Let's talk about how cells fit into the organization of living things. We've been talking about atoms and molecules, and we understand what an organism, or whole animal, is, but we're about to spend some time considering an in-between level of organization, the cell. To really understand cells, we need to understand all the levels that bridge the gap between cells and organisms. All living things are made of cells, and cells come from other cells. A lot of organisms stop at that level. The whole living thing is just one cell. You can think of a cell as the smallest level of organization that can still be considered alive. The individual parts of cells, called organelles, help them function, but they can't function alone. To be alive, at the very least, you have to be a cell. Bacteria and amoeba are at this level. Some take life to the next level, though. Instead of being just one cell, the living thing is made up of many similar cells. The cells may not be exactly identical, but they aren't very different from each other, and they all work together. We call this the tissue level of organization. Sponges are an example of an organism at this level of organization. All of their cells are very similar, and they all work together to keep the sponge alive. Sometimes you have different tissues that work together to perform a single function. The root of a plant, for instance, will have epithelial tissue and vascular tissue that work together to bring water up from the soil. When tissues work together for a single function, we call them an organ. Then you have organs working together. For example, in the cardiovascular system, the lungs serve the function of gas exchange. And other organs, called blood vessels, serve the function of transportation, but they work together to get the oxygen where it needs to be. This is an organ system. You don't have to have whole organ systems to be alive, but complex organisms do. There are two ways to think about the levels of organization. First, you can think about what level any given organism is at. Humans, for instance, have whole organ systems, and sponges have only tissues. You can also think about the levels within an organism. While humans do have organ systems, that doesn't mean they don't also have organs and tissues. As we start studying cells, it's helpful to remember how they fit into the systems that make life possible. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.